guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about mistakes that you're going to want to avoid if you are purchasing a property with the intention of it being an investment in mind. If you are new here, welcome. My name's Mariah. I've been a real estate agent my entire adult life, and I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of investors over the years, and these are just a few things that I've learned along the way. I have my venti iced water. Grab your beverage of choice and we're just gonna jump right in. The first mistake that you're going to want to avoid when purchasing a property as an investment is buying the best house in the neighborhood. Let's say you're looking at a home that's in really great condition, the yard is well manicured, and all the homes around it are not very well taken care of. They have a lot of work needing to be done to them. You are not gonna want to purchase that house because the homes in the area are drastically going to affect your home's resale value and the rental value. And it doesn't matter how nice and fixed up that house is that you're going to buy. It doesn't matter what you do to it to improve it or improve the value. If those other homes around it, which you cannot control, are going to still be in really bad condition, then you're still going to be screwed because it's going to just drag your house down in value and is going to affect the value. Your home is not going to be that much more price-wise than the other ones around it. But on the flip side, say there's a house that's 1,500 square feet in a nice neighborhood, and most of the other homes in the neighborhood are 2,500 square feet plus, that would be a great investment because the other homes are going to help the value of that home, if that makes sense. The next thing you're going to want to avoid is purchasing in a crappy location. I know this sounds cliche, everyone always talks about location, but it really is true that if a house is right by a train track, on a busy road, if it's a flag lot, if it's a floodplain, if any of those situations, just to name a few, are where this home is located, it is going to take longer to sell. It's going to affect the resale value, and again, it's going to affect the rental value of the home. This is really geared toward a rental property or a long-term investment, but you're gonna want to avoid purchasing in an area with high property taxes. This is actually something that my husband and I, this is actually the reason why we purchased our first home that we bought, was because we were purchasing it with the intention of it someday becoming a rental in mind, even though when we moved that isn't what happened, but that was our goal at the time, was that's what we wanted to happen. And the reason we found that particular home so desirable is because the property taxes were so low on the home, and that's really what you're going to want in a rental is low property taxes. You could have two homes that are the exact same price, and one of them has a monthly payment that is way higher only because the property taxes are higher in that area. And obviously, if you're buying a home as a rental, you want to keep the payment as low as possible so you can actually make something off of it. So be very careful to not buy in an area that has high property taxes. That's not something you're just gonna know from looking at a home on Zillow. Your agent's gonna have to tell you that, or your lender. They'll have to check on the property taxes for you, but keep that in mind. The next thing that you want to avoid is purchasing a home that is in bad condition. And what I mean by that is, I know this also might sound kind of obvious, but I don't mean if it passes an inspection report, it's okay. That's not what I mean. Because maybe the home will pass an inspection right now and it's okay right now, but how's the roof going to be in 5 years from now? Does the water heater only have 3 years left? Those are things you're really gonna wanna know, again, especially if it's a rental or a long-term investment, because say in a few years from now, you have to put $25,000 into the roof and you have to put $8,000 into the water heater. Well then, are you really even making money with it as a rental if you're taking all of these costs into consideration? So you don't just want to know, is it okay right now? Will it pass an inspection? But you're really going to want to know how long, all of those things, what's the lifeline of them, and is it going to make sense money-wise? And another thing that goes along with that, I know not everyone agrees with me on this, but in my personal opinion, based off of what I've seen, I would argue that it's always best when you're purchasing a property as a rental to purchase a newer home and avoid older homes. And I don't mean it has to be brand new, but generally the older the home, the more money over time you're going to be spending on upkeep and repairs. Before we move on to our last thing to avoid, I just thought I should mention today's video is sponsored by Able. They're an online platform that makes managing your rental properties super easy and streamlined. With this website, you are able to screen tenants, find tenants, manage 15 different properties if you want. There's so many different things you can do with this. And the best part is that it is completely free. So if you are watching this video, you probably either own rental properties or want to in the future. And so if that's you, check them out. There's a link in the description below. Like I said, they are free to use and you're not gonna want to miss out on that. So the last thing that you're going to want to avoid when purchasing an investment property is not knowing what the other homes in the area have sold for. Before you think about purchasing an investment property, you're really gonna want to do your own research. Don't just take someone's word for it. You're gonna wanna do your own research, and I don't mean comparing it to a home that's sold that's similar to it on the other side of town. You're gonna wanna stay as close to this home as possible. You're gonna wanna know what homes have sold for in the exact neighborhood, what the home down the street sold for, what the home across the road sold for. That is what you're gonna wanna know, because those are gonna be the most accurate comps to go off of. And that's another reason why it's so important to work with an agent who's not only extremely knowledgeable about the area, but extremely knowledgeable about the market. That is it for today's video. I know a lot of our viewers are fellow real estate agents, so if you have any tips to add to this, I would love to hear your tips in the comment section below. And if you have any topics that you would like us to cover, leave those in the comments below as well, and we will see you guys next time.